as the multiverse aligns. New mutated enhanced being of my kind. I rhyme to an iron heartbeat of Eddie Kane, the conqueror with the thought of Xavier's peace of mind. Look, Max crafting a well written in Hell's Kitchen, being blind. Dare to see your Sky Summers eye to eye. Miles ahead, web slinging online in this age of Voltron. You ain't even inclined. The real McCoy, your beast with mine. I'm from Sakar, barely age. I've increased the time. Fantastic as a force field formed by Sue. It's the arrival of Marvel of the Minds. It's been due. Go.
First and foremost, what up, though? It's Marvel of the Minds. I'm Nametag Alexander, and of course, I got Peace of Mind. Good sir, what's going on? And welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Yeah, battling those kangaroos was tough. They almost had me, but
that's what we led with, man. Would you say it was like Wi-Fi? Obviously, went out, storms out there in Australia, man. Yeah. Me and Self held it down. Shout out to Self says. Yeah. We just assumed you might have gotten eaten by a kangaroo or something, or attacked by one of those wild spiders out there.
Luckily a dingo came through and saved me. I
don't know why I feel like I need to pause that, but
not a man dingo. No, a dingo.
But we back at it, man, and this series itself, and shout out to us being at episode 50, man. That's a milestone,
Ooh, this is 50?
Yeah, man.
Damn,
I didn't realize it until I was
we should have had some like streamers and a cake and shit.
Man. I was like, damn, I didn't recognize it because we started the show. What was that? 2020? Was it 23 or 22?
22, I think.
Yeah, and then we started and eventually we started picking up pace. So now we have 50, man. But 50 more and then some, you know what I mean? And it was easy for us to do it, actually, just once we figured out a rhythm and how we gonna approach.
Yeah, I didn't even realize, Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got the link in the description for the merch, you know what I'm saying? Marvel of the Minds merch. So if you want to help us celebrate 50th, make sure y'all caught the Marvel of the Minds t-shirt. Probably gonna have more merch coming, maybe like some mugs for the coffee drinkers, maybe some hoodies, whatever. I'm thinking some more stuff, but shout out to Peace of Mind for the design. Good sir. It's fly.
Yes, sir.
Probably landed on one that pops out. So again, if y'all watching this episode, even if you listening, make sure y'all click that link in the description of the episode. I actually got to drop the audio for the one that me and Self did. Actually, I forgot to put that mug out there, but YouTube is where it's at as far as the streams. But we about to get right into it, man. And I'm gonna actually share my screen with you, and let's go ahead and do that. All right, you able to see it? Good to go.
There we go.
Okay, bet. So we're gonna be talking about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is technically the week before the final episodes, because they've been dropping in. What has it been like? 2. Yeah, the first one was 2 and then 3 2 times. Yeah, and then 3 again, and then we dropping 2 more in the final week on the 19th, which is cool because I guess there's going to be a lot of Brave New World commentary, and I can see like a show like this being that it's animated kind of getting swept under. And then they didn't want to run into Daredevil Born Again either. But man, we back at it, man, talking about episodes 6 through 8. Episode 6 was titled Duel with the Devil. We know why. Scorpion Rising was episode 7, which was the favorite of the 3 for me. And then A Tangled Web. And just out of the, how we normally do, as always, with the ratings, our Infinity Stone rating, what did you rate? Do you want to rate them as individual episodes or all together? Just as a whole.
Yeah, because some were better than others.
Yeah. So we'll start with episode 6. What did you think about it? Would you rate it on the Infinity Stone level?
I'd give it a 5. It was great. I loved having Daredevil be the one that popped up and telling Pete, hey, Osborn is up to some shit,
Yeah. I thought it was dope. I actually rewatched that one. At first I was hyped because of the Daredevil fight, and rewatching it again, I would have to bounce back and say, I'll give it a 4. Honestly, that's still not bad out of 6. You know what I mean? Because I think more so I was hyped because of the fight, and this one seemed to have focus. They were kind of like, it was a lot leading up to it, but I just don't remember. Like maybe because like when I rewatched the 3, I was like, yeah, this one. It wasn't that it stood out the least to me, but it just was that for the most part. And just to hit some high points off of the episode real quick. That teacher at the beginning of the episode was built like mad brolic. I had that in my nose. I was like, why is she built like that? I'm like, what villain is she gonna be? I don't know, but maybe that's just how they drew her. We got Lonnie's girl kind of knowing something is up with him. He been avoiding her, Pearl that is. And as far as who else? What else did I have in my notes?
Did you notice the when they were sitting down and watching movies, going through Aunt May's VHS, the Zaniac was one of the movies?
I did. Yeah. And wasn't that from that was also from Loki season 2, right?
Yeah. It was in the TVA. Or was that was season 3?
Well, no, they only had 2 seasons of Loki. Yeah, but it was that second season. Yep. There's 2.
Was there only 2? Why am I thinking there was 3 seasons?
Yep. It was only 2. Should have been 3, but we know why it wasn't. But man, have you ever been a third wheel on a date, or would you invite somebody as a third wheel?
Yeah, I have, and it's freaking awkward as fuck. Like, no, I would never invite somebody to be the third wheel. I would never do that to anybody.
You've been the third wheel?
Yeah, unknowingly.
I've invited a third wheel before, but I've done it with knowing my homie. I'm like, well, he gonna bring a girl with him, because I was driving at that time. I had just got my license, and I was on a date with my daughter's mom my daughter's mom, and it was this was, I forget what year this was. Not I just got my license. I just got I just bought like a used car, whatever. It wasn't like the best of vehicles, but I had. Yeah, man. I thought my boy, I was like, he gonna bring somebody or whatever. Cause thinking like he'd assume like, okay, I ain't gonna be the third wheel. Nah. He was like, shit, I wasn't doing nothing, dog. I'm with you. I was like, all right, but it is what it is. That was so awkward. Yeah. But yeah, I've done it before, man. So I knew that when I seen it, I was like, oh, it's so awkward, man. But
I think I was more of like a diversion or like a deterrent, like because something wasn't, the vibes just weren't right, but they felt like obligated, so they're like, "Hey, come along, help me out." Like,
So what was up with the one character, Gene, that was snooping around, where Pete was having that conversation with Norman, and like old girl that popped up at the end?
I don't know. She thinks something's up. That's for sure.
I'm like, what was that about? Because it wasn't like he caught her. Like, hey, what you doing up here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, damn, what's up with her? Like, we maybe more to find out in regards to that character. I'm like, damn, because at first I didn't remember. Oh no, okay, yeah, she's I forget they at the school, not the school, but they're working under interns under Norman, pretty much.
Yeah,
and yeah, man, we also see Thaddeus Ross this episode.
We did,
yeah, man,
that was cool.
Yeah, because we still in this, like, how they mixing it up. It's not necessarily the 616, but they blending it to where it's like, okay, we still got some. I don't know what universe this is. Actually, I kind of want them to say it, but at the same time, it's like I'm just enjoying the show for what it is. But we see this still talking about the Sokovian Accords. So I'm like, all right, we see Thaddeus Ross. He's talking basically like, yo, your man Spider-Man. We got to put him on watch, dog.
And said it was that guard. Like his identity.
What he name him? It was
oh shit,
John. I forget what he said his name was. It was John something. I'm drawing a blank on the name. But I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, he like just look away. Like when it's Spider-Man, he fighting crime. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't causing much harm. The Daredevil fight, it was cold.
It was cool.
Fire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, this is dope. I like the wits. They were exchanging matching wits back and forth. And it's like he just didn't figure out that Daredevil was blind. I thought that was pretty dope. You're like, oh, you didn't. I guess you saw that coming. No, not really. But it was interesting too, because I thought about it. I said, oh man, that's interesting. Like how Peter is fighting him, but he's like, it reminded me of sort of like the scrap with him and Captain America in Civil War, right?
Yeah.
We fighting him, and Tony said that you would do this, and you were like this, you would say this or whatever. And in a way, Captain America, like, man, you will soon figure out. And right now, we're seeing that Daredevil, like, man, kids, you gonna figure it out. You don't even know. Like the guy you working for, this is the second time. Like somebody kind of said that Norman Osborn is up to no good. We got Harry. That's another thing I had in my notes. He ain't do it intentionally, but he exposed Peter as Spider-Man, dog, to Nico.
Yeah.
And it's like, did he assume Nico knew? I guess because her and
I
Peter
think
were tight.
because because they're supposed to be like, because she was going on like, we're the best of friends. Like I know all the secrets, and he's like, all of them. Like,
it was
just
no
shut your
harm in
mouth
that.
and say okay.
Yeah, it was no harm in that.
Like,
So yeah, I was like, damn, dog. And then we also see, we seen. Was this our first time seeing Dr. Octavius? I feel like
we saw him briefly before in the last batch.
But episode 6 ended with him giving Scorpion the fit. I keep forgetting Scorpion's like real name, but he giving him the fit. I'm like, oh
Matt
shit,
Gargan.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to really expect from that. And oh boy, when we saw what happened. Jumping to episode 7, what did you rate that as far as the Infinity Stone?
7, I gave it 6. 6 stone.
This the one I had to give 6. Cause man, I'm gonna get to it. Do you think though that Octavius and Norman are already working together?
No, I think part of what Osborn is saying rings true. Like he used to work for him, but he left. But I definitely think there's more to it than just that.
Like what really went down? You know what I'm saying? Like why you really want to? It don't even seem like he hate him. It just seemed like obviously it's something that's there. Like Dr. Octavius, like, yo, I should be where he is at, or I should be at his level, not him being. You know what I mean? Like maybe. And I'm even thinking like maybe it was like, did Norman show him how to create certain tech or like help him improve on certain designs? And maybe Octavius stole like stole some design or some blueprints.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe all these designs and shit were like a lot of Octavius was Octavius and Norman was the one that stole it. So that's,
that's true.
Doc Ock's vendetta against him.
Okay, so we had I don't know if you remember in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I want to say the one with Electro, and they showed the outfits or whatever, the costumes for quote unquote Sinister Six, and I remember everybody being like, "Oh snap!" Like, but it was at Oscorp, so I'm wondering, like in the cartoon, maybe we really found out the real deal to like maybe this, like you said, maybe this wasn't Norman creating those designs. Maybe he's smart, but he ain't really that tech savvy, and maybe it's Octavius that's really the one, because I really want to know their beef. Nico, I think I'm wondering like what is she really hiding?
I don't know. She's got some powers in that necklace.
Yeah, because she keeps looking at that, and I know
it's like sentient. And it was that this episode where they were driving around, or was that Tangled Web? I think that was Tangled Web.
Tangled Web, yeah.
Okay. So
this episode was just flat out ass whooping, like this episode. But but I feel like in this episode it was because it was between either episode 6 or 7 where I want to say that Nico was telling Harry that she could like read his palms or something. She was into the, you know what I mean? Like just as far on that level or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, do the tarot card readings. I was like, oh, they going there with it. I see what's up. All right. I see what's up. So I'm like, maybe it's something more to the charm that she got on her necklace or whatever. But so shit, man, just to kind of, that was one of my predictions. This episode 7 with this the one with the Scorpion. Do you think because the way they made it seem, I get it, they was just kind of like cool or whatever, but do you see, because I thought this was episode 8 that happened in, but do you see Nico and Harry hooking up?
Yeah, I mean, they kept on heavily hinting at it all throughout it, like, so I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Cause look, she's like technically I don't know, because I wanted to say maybe she's like the Ned of it all, but I'm kind of looking more at that. Maybe that's Harry who's the Ned of it all, because I want to be the guy in the chair, right? So I'm assuming maybe Nico is like Mary Jane. And I was recently watching the Spider-Man movie from 02, I want to say, when that dropped, and Harry and Mary Jane was together. Like Peter was feeling Mary Jane, but Harry was the more suave one, and you know what I mean. So I don't know how they gonna do it, but I could see that happening. I'm like, they did that with intention to make those. Eventually, those two are gonna hook up, and Peter's not gonna realize that he likes Nico like that until he sees her and Harry together. That's what I got from it.
I was see that happening.
It had nothing. Has some shit has happened where it's like, oh damn, like Lonnie is going there. But what event do you think will happen is going to really push Lonnie over the edge? Because we know he's Tombstone. I'm not familiar with the character per se, but I know he was like, he ran one of the gangs. So it's kind of painting a picture in my head. But what do you think is really going to happen that sends him over the edge? Will he just full on gangster?
Well, I think it's going to be when he like gets his powers in the, you know, like, because what, Tombstone can't feel anything? Is that one of his?
I believe so.
Like he's got no nerves or whatever.
I read something up on that.
Yeah, so I think he might. I mean, we might not even see it in this season if there's, you know, going to be something.
So here's the thing:
lines.
We still got another spider on the loose.
Yeah,
he may not get like spider like powers or anything, but I could see like it being something where he gets bit by a spider and it's something where, you know what I mean, like something that's chemical that impacts him.
That's possible.
But then I was
like, more leaning towards they're trying to go get tech from Doc Ock. Doc Ock is crazy. He might have some, you know, booby trap shit or something go wrong, and that's how he gets exposed.
What I'm gonna need to do, I might be able to do it now, like while I'm on here, because I can't help but kind of like want to know, like, what's his origin, like how did he become about? You know what I mean? Tombstone. So I'm gonna look that up now. Lonnie Lincoln, or comic book character. Boom, it pops up right there. I doubt that it's probably not letting me. Hold on, let me unshare real quick. Reshare it again. We're gonna read this one together. All right. Lonzo Thompson, Lonnie Lincoln. Why you got two names? All right. Overview.
Because there was two different Tombstones.
So do we go to this? No, it's Tombstone. All right. We'll go to fandom. We'll pull that one up. That might be the quickest. Cold as ice. All right, get this out of there. I'm just reading Cold as ice, Arbors of Marble. I like that web spinner. Thanks. I know that. Okay. Raising Harlem. Got it. Okay. He was an albino, which is almost like, as I like how Marvel and DC always kind of like make similar characters, because my man's from Black Lightning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His albinism. Okay. But Lonnie Lincoln in the cartoon's not an albino.
Nah, he's just
regular black dude.
The little on the lighter skin side.
It's gonna be a chemical or something that spill on him.
Yeah. That's what I was.
They'll betray the school newspaper. Okay, 8 years later, they kind of jump right. He grown to become a mob enforcer in Philadelphia. So this is far from like. Okay, so they doing a whole different display on there. So here's what I think. I feel like because of him being in the game, somebody's gonna die, and it's two people I think that's gonna die between either Pearl or Big Donovan. Pause, because I don't like the fact that they call him Big Donovan.
I think both. I mean,
I think here's the thing.
If Donovan dies, it's, you know, he's gonna have to step up, and that's like, what is that for, you know?
But see, they leaning toward that though as well, because you see how
how is that gonna really tip him over the edge to Tombstone? Like, he doesn't really have that.
Just making him the full out leader.
Yeah, I mean, but to be on like the Tombstone level, I think some heavy shit has to happen. I think Pearl or his brother die. I think, or his brother. Yeah. But I think it's got to be more than just Donovan dying.
Yeah, like if Donovan dies at the hands of Scorpion or something, like I got your ass, like some shit like that, or girl that ran up on him with the car or whatever. It's something that's gonna happen to make him go full on out because they've been leaning so heavily toward that. I think that's what's gonna happen, and because it's gonna be like his girl. If his girl die, it's gonna be because he didn't talk. Remember they broke up. It might have been episode 8 where they broke up, and I could see like being like dang, I never got to apologize, or I never, some shit like that. If it's his brother, it's going to be like when he told him, like in the beginning of episode 6, I want to say, he told him like, call you, talk about being like, well, you should be grateful. Like he basically told him that, you know what I mean? Like basically I spared your life or whatever by taking your place in the game. Yeah, we see the Scorpion though, man. Basically what happens is, just a quick recap, Pearl finds out from his brother that Lonnie has been hanging out with the gang. She sneaks up on Lonnie at the lair or whatever. That's what they would call it in the comic books, the lair. She sneaks up on him. He like, you shouldn't be here. It ain't safe. Then that's, why he telling her that, boom, Scorpion shows up and all hell breaks loose. Peter comes in, saves day, but Peter gets his ass handed to him. And man, and for the second time, Norman Osborn is so focused on something else, he couldn't necessarily help Peter. He did, but Peter got damn near died. Right. Because Norman was so focused on finding out about Dr. Octavius. So, man, that fight, man, that's what made this episode of 6 for me. I was like, because that fight was longer than the Daredevil fight. It was just more connected to the storyline. Like, had Peter not came brutal. Man, I didn't think they was gonna go there. I was like, this is a Disney cartoon. They not nope.
In that last group of episodes that came out, what did he say? Donovan said shit or ass like multiple times. I was like, oh, so this isn't for like they're not really aiming this at her. Like, they're aiming this at us.
I heard damn like from Lonnie, like damn, like so it's all like, okay, so but he stabbed him up, dog. I was like, damn, I didn't think Peter was gonna get the brakes beat off of him like that.
Nope, I didn't see that coming.
Fire episode. That's how it ended. But the glider came through. Finally, Norman picks up. Oh snap! Like what's going on? Why his suit fucked up? Sends the glider through, which I thought at first I'm like, damn, is he coming in as the Green Goblin? He's like, nah, it's just the glider, which was another hint. Like eventually you don't see him become the Green Goblin, just probably not this season. And man, whole Future Foundation costume is fucked up. It's like damn, dog. So we jump into episode 8. What do my notes say for that? Let me see. Hold on.
How many stones do you give that one? Tangled Web.
Tangled Web. That one. Let me see. This was about. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 5. And the reason I give it a 5 is just because I like the Dr. Octavius. Like I'm liking him as a character. I normally in the movies, I didn't care for him that much. I didn't care. Like I know Spider-Man 2 got this lure behind it, and it's a lot of hype. People like, no, man, it's one of the best ones. I didn't care much for it, honestly. Even in rewatching it, like I don't remember even being that hype when it first came out. But and I'm not like I always say, I'm not the biggest Tobey Maguire. He's not my preferred Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And I got and it's just like he's I don't know, man. It's just why not for you? Because maybe we share the same reasons, but like why?
Like I'll sum it up with that scene from what is it, Bad Boys 2, where Lawrence's daughter has her boyfriend come over and they answer the door. Motherfucker, you look dirty. Yeah.
You look old. Even I was rewatching the first one. Like, man, you look old for Spider-Man, dog. You don't even look like you graduated high school.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He looked older. He looked older than that black teacher that took him on the field trip to the. Dog, in fact,
the bald-headed dude.
Yeah.
In fact, all of them looked older. Like if you watch the first one again, Harry looked old. Looked too old for high school. The teenagers there, the bullies, Flash. Yeah, Flash Thompson looked like he could do your taxes. I'm like, nah, dog. Mary Jane
he looks like he sells houses for H&R Block.
She looked like she had already worked the job that she was at the restaurant prior to even finishing. I'm like, man, this dog, so they did better. They got it right with Tom Holland and like casting people that looked at least like they could be
even the Andrew Garfield, you know.
I liked him as Spider-Man, but his character as Peter, I was like, you know, he was a little too like too cool for whatever reason. Like Tom Holland was a good balance to me. But yeah, so we talking to episode 8. We find out about, even though we know this about Spider-Man, but you find out they give you the hint at his healing ability. Because that hospital scene looked weird to me. I can't really pinpoint it, but I'm like, yo, why is they showing it like that? I got that Peter is like kind of out of it, but the way they were showing like the doctors, I'm like, man, it's something. Norman is up to some shit, man. And I thought, I know with like, it all centers back around like Gamma. They've been talking about Gamma and this, and I'm thinking like, so he know he's Spider-Man. He always been on the hunt to try to figure out who it is. That's why he got all the 4 students in there as the interns. I'm thinking like, all right, it's something with his blood. It might be something with Peter's blood, and I think.
And you want to know what I think that comes back to, and especially since he said your healing is, you know, remarkable or some shit. I think, you know, and Harry was like, oh yeah, my mom is gone. But his mom ain't gone. I think his mom is in the medical wing because there's something wrong with her. You know, she's the one with the disease or the problem, and Osborn wants to heal her.
Man. And then I really was thinking about it watching Brave New World, and we're gonna eventually do a review for that.
Yeah.
When you want to do that, hey man, hey look, what's today? Thursday we're recording this. Hey, I can do Saturday, bro. Hey man, because I'm like, just it goes back around to the blood. I'm like, man, I think he's trying to get Peter's blood, and I think just Peter getting into that scrap and getting pieced up help enhance whatever Norman's trying to do, because he just way too excited about Peter like being Spider-Man and him wanting to, you know what I mean? Like that's just kind of weird. Like you got all this tech and capability to do all this stuff, but you decide to invest in Peter. I don't know, man. It's something that ain't right, and we'll figure it out maybe by season 2 or maybe by these last 2 episodes they go air. With Peter, of course, he's battling, feeling the need. He want to fight and put up a fight, but he feel too weak about it. You know what I mean? Like, feel like he can't save nobody, really, like how he plans on, like his whole intention was. So you saw him go through that, talking to Aunt May. And then, of course, Aunt May, you can't really tell her, like, man, look, this what happened. I fucked up. I got my ass beat by Scorpion. You can't tell her that. He even had to tell her what did he say happened?
Was skateboarding.
Yeah, skateboarding or whatever. So it was like, I guess. But she bought it. You know what I mean? But I do also think, like we kind of talked about it earlier, we get more of an idea what's going to send Lonnie over the edge. And what I think, and like I said, somebody could die, but I think in a mix of all that, I feel like Peter and Pearl, like I said, Nico and Harry going to become a thing. Like I said, remember, Peter might see Nico and Harry become a thing and feel away because he realized, dang, I got feelings for Nico. And then not in retaliation for that, because Pearl and Lonnie ain't together, they broke up. Peter and Pearl, his whole childhood crush things gonna come true, and maybe Lonnie gonna peep that and know something was up. Because remember, Lonnie came to the door and realized, like, she like, I'm studying. Like, oh dang, I came at a bad time. Knowing Peter there, he like, obviously I dropped out of the class, so you still gotta pass this whatever project y'all work. So he was cool with that, but I think maybe the second time is gonna be he gonna see her and Peter like holding hands, something making. That's when it's gonna be like, oh no, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? On coupled in with maybe Pearl dying later, or maybe your brother. So you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna die, I think, for real, and it's gonna be coupled in with that Esau appearing. It's gonna be over. It's gonna be hell from there, and then whatever freak accident happens to make him Tombstone and super strong and beating the shit out of Peter. We get Iron Man, dog. We see the whole scene. I talked about it earlier with Dr. Octavius. Based on because Norman finds out where he is, right? He like, you know, so instead of calling like the cops or whatever, he jumps on and get the government because of the Sokovian Accords. He sends Thaddeus Ross and them after him because you're in violation of the Sokovian Accords. Sounds about. So Octavius, he he geared up, so he taking them all out. He dropping them, whatever, using his arms, all type of tech that's in there. He even leave, but the problem is he leaves out. He escapes the scene, and they right there. Thaddeus Ross and all his folks. So can't escape that. And then here comes Iron Man.
No. Yeah, he was gonna walk right by. He was like, "Oh, sorry guys, I don't really got time for this." And then Iron Man lands, and he was like, "Ah, shit, yep, I'm done.
I can't do nothing with Iron Man, dog." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hello, shit. We got Tony Stark up in this mug, voiced by the same dude who did I want to say that was my man's from What If that did the same voice.
I think it was.
People who do Iron Man's voiceover work be like, it puts you in the mind of Robert Downey Jr. in a sense.
It does.
Yep.
They do a good job. Yeah.
Yep. And then, man, we get the line as Peter feels like because he gets whooped on by a Scorpion that he just ain't got it. He having nightmares and everything. They even had a nightmare sequence kind of similar to the one from Far From Home with Mysterio, which I thought was pretty dope. A lot of parallels to the 616 in this. And he ends up talking to Norman, and Norman basically just like, he thought Norman was just gonna can him and not want to deal with him no more or whatever. And Norman is like, listen, man, he tells him the opposite of what like Tony would have told him or Uncle Ben or something. He like, listen, man, you gotta toughen up. Like you pulling basically what we always feel about Spider-Man though, honestly. Like,
stop pulling your punches, stop holding
strong.
back.
Yeah, your villains don't hold back, they don't pull back their punches, but you do, and you need to stop pulling back your punches. And he tells him, think he's gonna say it, which I thought was dope. He said, "With great power comes." He didn't say with great powers comes great respect. He just said, "With great power comes respect," didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." So you're like, "What comes respect?" Basically, like, dog, your villains need to like be worried when they hear the name Spider-Man, like not know. Because they always look at him anyway. They don't know your team, but they always look at him like you're a kid anyway. Every time you pop up, like, man, this is a piece of work. Then they realize he can throw hands and stuff, but for the most part, they end up beating him down. But now it's like, it ain't like how Batman is. Batman, oh shit, come Batman, I better run.
Right,
the Joker, but or Bane. But for the most part, Yep.
Yeah. And we get not too much really went down in this last episode. No fight wise, no real revelations, but we do get a shot of just the mask, the new mask at the end, and that's how they close it out. And I was like, yes.
Harry's like, I saw that, I went through your drawings or whatever in your backpack, and maybe I'm pretty sure he might have did that while he was in the hospital or something, and he healing.
Yeah.
Because he told him like, man, your dad though, man. He said, he like, man, like, what you want to do though? Like, this about what you trying to do, and
Yeah.
So anyway, I went and retooled some things, and he designed a suit. See, the Harry's like, oh, about to get the OG suit finally, and it was a cool episode to close out the 3 parts. You know what I mean? And I am excited to see this time, because the first one it was dropping, I wasn't really excited about the next episodes, but after this one, I'm like, okay, I do want to see how this is gonna close out with these 2, and knowing that they're gonna be, there's gonna be another season, how that leads into that.
I think they're both going to be. I think they're both going to be bangers to finish it out. I think both episodes.
Yep. And then
looking forward to it.
Next thing we'll be talking about. Brave New World. Prior to that,
we'll get to that.
Excited for you to see, man, because I'm reserving I ain't giving up nothing, man. Norm like, and I'm going off, I'm thugging, and then I ain't like this voice note. And then another thing, if you think about this, I was like, nope. Hush. Just we saving this. I don't got many notes. I just got a few talk points for the most part from me watching it the first time. I do want to see it a second time, and then kind of just really just sit with it and be like, okay, all right. Like even with it, and then I went just to make sure. I'm like, I ain't tripping. Sometimes you got to hear like-minded folks. So I listened to some of the streamers that saw it early. They got to see it early, and I'm like, I was right. Like it wasn't no groupthink type situation. It's like they saw it separate. Because remember, it comes out on the 14th. So people who have seen it separately, they ain't seen no reviews like that. They giving a best takes on it or whatever off of first view. So I'm like, okay, all right. So everybody kind of thinking the same thing in a sense. Yep. Yeah, man. But on that note, man, we will be back. Hey, listen, if you just decide like, I saw it, man, we go at it Saturday.
Yeah.
or
I'll be
at the
there.
latest
I'll be there
Sunday.
soon.
Yeah, man. Just let me know. Let them know they can find you at though, man.
Peace of Mind 313 across everything, everywhere.
Yeah. Same here. Name tag Alexander across the board on all the streaming platforms. You can purchase or buy music, Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, even so on and so forth. Same across social media. I got to get the website back going. I kind of like, man, I don't want to sound cliche and say I'm over social media, but man, it's just, I hate having to battle the algorithm, dog. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop a link in the description where y'all can subscribe to the email list, man. We can just start putting these episodes out that way for sure. Yeah. But until next time, it's been Marvel of the Minds. Make sure I hit that link in the description for the merch. It's been Marvel of the Minds. Peace.